So if you're someone who has thought about quitting alcohol, or maybe you're wondering what the effects of alcohol are on our body and especially on our running, or if you're struggling to balance your social life with your fitness and health goals, then this is a video to give you some important information. So we're going to get into how giving up alcohol for me over a decade ago has changed my running and my life. So I want to take you back to my 20s when I was living what you might call a hedonistic party lifestyle. I was a wannabe rock star and alcohol was a big part of my social life. Weekends were filled with late nights, loud music, and way too many drinks. And at the time, it seemed like fun, but it also came with its downsides. My energy levels were all over the place. I found it difficult to stay consistent with any form of exercise. I was eating terrible. I was not in a good place mentally by the end of, or the middle to end of my 20s. I played about with the idea of giving up alcohol for a number of years in my late 20s, and it got to about 30 and I decided, 31, I decided that I was just going to have a break from alcohol. I was going to take 6 months out. So from the start of the new year, I'm going to stop drinking. And I'm just going to have 6 months. I wanted to just have a bit of a training period. I wanted to live a little bit of a healthier lifestyle. I wanted to see what it felt like not having alcohol in my life. And so at that point, towards the end of my 20s and into my 30s, I was only maybe drinking maybe once every 3 to 4 weeks. I'd really reduced my alcohol intake from where maybe 4 or 5 times a week in my early 20s and late teens. So I decided that I wanted to have that break from it. And then what happened was, after the 6 months, I just lost that habit of wanting a drink and wanting an alcohol. I created so many other habits that they'd formed in the place of alcohol that I'd never actually returned to alcohol. And here I am over 10 years later, still haven't had a drop of alcohol. And I'm feeling much more productive, much more alert. I sleep better. I don't get the highs and the lows that you used to get in terms of energy levels, and mentally feeling those highs and lows. Maybe when you're feeling a little bit from the alcohol, you're feeling a bit hungover from the weekend, or maybe sometimes approaching a weekend. Sometimes I used to get anxious even going out on a weekend, thinking, oh, I know where this goes, I'm going to be feeling hungover, and it's the 2 to 3 days of feeling a bit after it. I also noticed that I wasn't getting ill as much, and my running started to become a little bit more consistent, and I felt like I was into a really nice groove. I was starting to get into a really good routine with my running because of it. So let's talk about some of the damaging effects of alcohol on the body. Now, I don't want this to be too preachy. Some of this you probably already know, but I want to give the information because I know that some people don't even know this. I know that I've worked with some of my clients, and when I tell them some of this information, like, I never knew that. So I think it's important to share this information, and just so that you can make that little bit more of an informed, conscious decision of like, is this the right time? Or maybe again, like as I mentioned, maybe you're thinking about, is this the right time to maybe have a break from alcohol? And I just want to sort of, again, give you the information of like, well, alcohol isn't that great. So alcohol is a diuretic, which basically means it increases our dehydration. We are much more likely to be in a dehydrated state when we are drinking alcohol. And the next day, particularly, our muscles are going to be dehydrated. So we definitely don't want to be running when we're the day after alcohol. Now, how many runners that drink alcohol go for a run the day after? Well, that's just going to put your body under a lot of strain that it doesn't already need. So you're going to have to drink excess fluids to get back into a hydrated state before you even go out into a run. Make sure that we are definitely not running the day after a drinking session. You might increase the risk of things like cramps, increasing the risk of muscle strains because of the dehydration that is already in there. And then also because of the muscles are working harder, that could lead to other areas of compensating that are again potentially going to lead to injuries. So alcohol impairs our muscles recovery as well because of it impairs the protein synthesis, and also it reduces our growth hormones. One of the most popular things when you finish a marathon or a half marathon marathon is to have a big drink and celebrate. Woohoo! Yeah. You're going to reduce your recovery. So maybe you're going to feel even worse. Tomorrow you're going to feel more achy. Your muscles are going to feel even more beat up because you're reducing that protein synthesis. So the protein that you're getting in to repair the muscles is not going to, again, repair the muscles as efficiently. And also the same with the growth hormone. That synthesis of those essential processes within the body that help recovery. Your body will find it harder to bounce back from the effort that you've put through it. So alcohol, it reduces our sleep quality. We don't go into that deep sleep. When we've had alcohol, although some people almost fall unconscious, we're not getting that deep recovery sleep that we need. So that's why sometimes you can wake up after even a few drinks and still feel like you're a little bit sluggish and you haven't actually, again, refreshed your brain because you haven't gone into that deep restorative sleep. So this is something that I see with a few of my clients currently, is that alcohol weakens your immune system, and some of my clients struggle with getting this information in and acknowledging it. They're almost in denial about it, because 2 clients in particular that I think of do get ill quite a lot, and that's because of the amount of alcohol. Again, it depresses the immune system, which is, it opens up the body for more colds and flus and viruses. So you are effectively, if you imagine a moat, a castle, and the soldiers come in to get your castle, you are effectively putting the drawbridge down and welcoming those soldiers into your castle, the soldiers being the virus or the cold or whatever it may be, and your castle being your immune system. You are welcoming them into your body and into your immune system. So it's really important that we pull the drawbridge up and we fend off those cold and flu viruses. And you can do that by not drinking alcohol. So you will be healthier for that. Was that a little bit too preachy? Sorry. So alcohol has an impact on your nervous system as well, and how that comes out, it can impair your balance, it can impair your coordination, it can impair your motor skills. So obviously, if you've ever seen a really drunk person, they struggle to have good balance and they struggle to kind of coordinate and function very well. And that's how alcohol can influence your nervous system and your brain. So it's really important that we are definitely not again, I'm going back to that same point, definitely not running the day after we've had a heavy drinking session, because we are increasing the risk that we may slip and fall because of our reduced balance and coordination. So as I've mentioned a few times there, one of the main points I'm trying to get across with this video is definitely don't run the day after you've had a heavy drinking session. It's so common within many of my clients that I see and have seen over the years, but also as well as a lot of the friends that I know do this regularly. It's almost like they want to run the hangover off. And that is so detrimental for your body. You are just adding excessive stress into an already stressed body. You may think that it sorts you out, or it makes you feel better, or makes you feel refreshed, or it refreshes everything and starts again. It actually doesn't. It actually just adds more damage into the body, and you could be actually again creating more issues that just push the can down the road, that ultimately in a few weeks' time end up in an injury, because what you've done is you've gone out and you've done that run that was on your hangover, or again the day after drinking, and again you've damaged some tissues. Again, maybe you've had a little bit of a wobble or a tumble or fallen off a curb or whatever it maybe is, or maybe you've not connected to your body because again you're not really thinking too straight. You're just going out and like, I'm going to push myself, when your body really needs to go out when it's in a dehydrated state. Your heart rate is elevated and your body's saying, don't need this, give me a break. So there you have it. Giving up alcohol for me was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. You know, for my running and for my overall mental and physical health. And it's not just the benefits that outweigh the initial challenges, because it is, you know, it does. There's a period of change. Your friends start questioning you, and your friends group changes, and there's a lot of changes. Some people in your family are not accepting of it, or your friends are not accepting of it. There's changes that happen, and people start to look at you differently. So there's a lot of challenges that go with it, but actually it's very liberating when you're not stuck into that kind of peer pressure of like, I need to get out of my reality and escape it, because I'm going to deal with it in the here and now. So it is very refreshing, very liberating, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. And I'm not here to tell you to go cold turkey and stop right now and that's it. You've got to have a support system around you that welcomes it. You've got to explain to people why you want to be able to do, why you want to do it if you are thinking about doing it. There's got to be a purpose. You've got to have a purpose. Now, my purpose was I wanted to feel healthy. I wanted to know what it felt like to live a period of my life alcohol free. And then when I lived that period of alcohol free, I actually thought this period of my life was a really nice, productive, good period of my life. I want that to continue. So you've got to have that support network around you. You've got to recruit your family and friends and say, look, I'm doing this. This is my purpose. I want to be healthy. I want to do this. Or, this is my focus. Maybe you're focusing on a training program that you want to give it your all. You want to dedicate yourself to that. So it's all about weighing up those decisions and then deciding and then, really sticking to it and going with it, because it is absolutely worth it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've taken something from it. And do let me know in the comments, or just put thanks for the video. Give this video a thumbs up. I do greatly appreciate getting back to all of your comments. It's great to sit down and just reply and see everybody. And if you're interested, there's courses and programs on the exclusive Run Better with Ash membership. Have a look in the link in the description below. But thank you for watching this video, and I shall see you in the next one.